Okay, so last test we used SLIP2000's gun lube for the CLP test, and this time I'm using SLIP2000's EWL. EWL is supposed to be, it stands for Extreme Weapons Lubricant, and that really, it's basically thinner than gun lube, and it's supposed to withstand a higher temperature. But the question has been, which one works better? Because a lot of people like to go with, EWL for obvious reasons. It says Extreme Weapons Lubricant. Basically, it can handle much more than gun lube. It is a little bit more, but is it really much more effective? And really, I think a CLP is really defined by its cleaning ability. And lubricity is really subjective to the area that it's being applied to, such as my test with the PTR that I did with EWL 30. Same protocol applies as my last test. I'm going to wipe it down. I'm going to give it a very light brushing with a soft bristle brush. This is from CZ. And then I'm going to soak it in EWL overnight. I'm just going to tie off the bag because I was going to use a cup to basically place it in if there was a spill, but it didn't really work out. It kind of offset it to where the whole barrel wasn't actually getting soaked. So that's going to be our protocol. So let's go ahead and get started. Subject here is the crown, or anywhere you can really reach that is close to the bore, the feed ramp and stuff like that, and the front area here. And so far it's all wiped clean. So the outside is not really that much of an issue. It's more the inside that we're testing, because that's the area that gets all the pressure, and that's typically where the lubricant is blown out from. And it's the hardest area to keep a lubricant really performing, if you will. So let's go ahead and brush it out. Okay. So you can see there with EWL, this is 200 rounds of 115 grain SMB, cellular and below, cellular and bellet, whatever you want, however you want to pronounce it. So we're going to go ahead and soak this, leave it for 24 hours. This is just the initial appearance of the fouling. So you get both sides here. Okay, so it's fully submerged in the EWL, and we're going to let this sit for 24 hours, just like the gun lube. Of fouling, And here is the third pass. It's gotten a bit out. Not too much, but a good amount. Fourth pass, not bad. Still a good amount there, but it's very thin. It's a very thin layer of fouling, Okay, that's 5 passes, and you can decide for yourself how well that did. I don't think it really did as good as the gun lube did, because the gun lube really took out a good amount of stuff, and there's still a little trench in between the lands and grooves, those little pockets. There's still some that have a pretty thick amount, and I think it would just need another soaking. And after the soaking, I think that it did help a bit. It penetrated a good amount, but I think another soaking would be in order. Maybe just putting it in for about 20 minutes or so would help it penetrate this last amount, or maybe even just a bronze brush. So let me go ahead and try a bronze brush and see if that'll kick the rest of it out. Okay, after a bronze brush, it did a good amount. It took out a lot of the big stuff. Didn't get all of it out. I think just another soaking would help this. I think you know, if you follow the directions and do what they recommend, you know, every 20 minutes scrubbing it and using a very nice wet brush, you know, you can get out a good amount. And plus a bore snake, I think that helps too. That's how I do mine. So yeah, this is just a straight up test to see how much you can get out just by one soaking. So I guess the EWL, even though it's a lot thinner than gun lube, doesn't really do as well. But you know, that's EWL for you. So it's a very good lubricant. It stands up to higher temperatures, but I guess it's not as much of a cleaner, or maybe the conditioning would take a little bit longer. But you know, that's really on you to decide.